What's going on, guys? John Elder here from Codemy.com, and in this video, we're going to fix our contact form so that it actually sends email with Python and Django. All right, guys, so in this video, we're gonna change this contact form so it actually sends an email to our dentist. But before we get started, if you like this video, want to see more like it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, which really helps. And check out Codemy.com, where I have dozens of courses with hundreds of videos to teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership. That's all my courses, videos, and books for a one-time fee, which is insanely cheap. Okay, so in the last video, we kind of built out this page, and we built this form out, and it actually works. We can fill it out, click the button, it will send the information to our back end, but then nothing happens to that information. We haven't actually built out the email functionality for our Django project. So that's what we're gonna do in this video. So let's head over to our code. And the first thing we wanna do is, whenever you're dealing with email in Django, you need to import the send mail thing for Django. So to do that, we just go from, now this is in django.core.mail, and we want to import send mail. Okay, so that's all we need to do there. But now inside of our contact function here, we need to actually build out the code to send an email. Now this is a two-step process. We're gonna have to write some code here, but then we're also gonna make a couple of tweaks to our settings.py file so that this all works. So now we can just, let's make a comment and go send an email. And you remember, these are the three things that our form is posting. It's sending from the web form. And if we go back to our website, we can see really quick, it's these three things, right? So the name, the email, and the message. We've named them message name, message email, and message, right? So to actually send an email, it's actually really easy. We just call it the send mail function, and it's a function, so we do that. And now let's put this on multiple lines. The first thing, I'm just going to put these as commas right now, and a comment, this is going to be the subject right here, right? Then we'll have the message itself, right? Then we'll have the from email, so who's filling out the form and what's their email, right? That's this thing right here, message email. And then finally, the to email. Where's this going? Who are we sending this to? So this looks kind of weird, so let's fill this out. First off, the subject. We can use single quotation marks or double quotation marks, and we can say any subject we want. We could say make appointment, right? Whatever we want. I'm going to not do that. I'm going to instead just put the person's name as the subject line. And by subject, you know what I'm talking about. Like when you get an email, there's always a subject line. That's what this is, the subject line. So instead of making a subject line, I'm just going to go message underscore name, just to put the person's name there, right? You could do anything you want. You could concatenate this if you wanted. We could go, message from, and then concatenate that on there. We could do that. So now the subject line will be message from John Smith or whatever, whoever sends the message. But I'm just going to put it as the message name. Now it's the actual message. What do we want to send? Well, that's just this variable right here. Post that in there. And then the from email, who's sending this email? Well, that's this right here, message email. So we put this here. And you can see these things are just all separated by commas, right? And then finally, the to email, this is a little bit different. This is going to be a Python list. And inside of here, you're going to put the dentist email address or the receptionist or whoever we want to get these emails, right? So I'm going to put it as John Elder or John@Codemy.com. Now, if you want a couple of people to get this, if the dentist wants to get a copy and he also wants to send it to the receptionist, you could just put a comma and then put, second@Codemy.com, whatever the other email address says you want. So that's interesting and cool. And so that's it. So this is just the little function that we're building out here. It's just the message name is the first thing, the message itself, or the subject is the first thing, the message itself is the second thing. Whoever's sending the email is the third thing, and whoever we want to send this to is the fourth thing. And guess what, guys? That's all there is to it. It's just that easy to send email with Django, but we still need to make a couple of changes to our settings.py file. And So let's just look at that real quick. We go up to our dentist folder and our settings.py file. And I'm just going to go down to the bottom here and make some space. Now, I'm going to show you two methods to do this. And the first one is just going to be a test method. And Python comes with a little send mail server that we can use just for testing purposes. And so that's what I'm going to show you how to use the first time right now. And then after that, I'll show you how to use the actual production level version to send a real email to a real person. And you'll use that for, once the website is finished being built, once it's pushed online for web hosting, you'll use that way. But just right now, while we're still building out the website, we don't want to use a full-on web server or email server. So we're just going to use a little fake one. It's not fake, it's real, but it's just very lightweight. And that's what we're going to do. So to use this thing, we just have to make some settings here. So I'm just going to go email settings, make a little comment. And the first one is email _ host. And we're going to set this equal to localhost. Remember our web server, if we pull it up, our website, it's running on localhost 8000. That's the port 8000 of localhost. Well, now we're going to send email from localhost too, at least right now. Like I said, we'll change this for production, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. So the next thing is you got to designate the port. So I'm going to say email port, and it needs to be different than 8000. So I'm going to put 1025. That's kind of a common one. And now we need the email host _ user. And I'm just going to leave this blank for now because this is just for testing purposes. And then we need the email _ host _ password. And again, I'm going to leave this blank for now just because we're testing. And then finally, we want email use _ TLS equals false. And this is a security thing. You could also do email _ use _ SSL and set that equal to false or true. So SSL, secure socket layers, or TLS, it's also a security layer. It's just telling us how we want to encrypt this and stuff like that. So we're just using production or development stuff right now. So I'm just going to leave that as false for now. Okay, so that's pretty much all there is to it. But now we need to actually turn on this email server that we've kind of designated here. We're going to use the fake one. Well, it's not fake. It comes with Python. It's very lightweight, and we're gonna use that. So we have to fire this thing up, right? So to do that, we would do that from our command prompt. But here we've got our web server running in this one. So I'm going to open another one of these, another git bash terminal, and let's go cd c dentist site. Okay, and then let's turn on our virtual environment. So source virtual scripts, activate. Okay, and we can, if we want to, move into the dental or dentist directory. So let's go ls. We see here's our manage.py file. It's not necessary that we be in this directory, but I just like to be in this directory for all things. All right, now I'm going to paste this command in, and it's just python -m smtpd. It's a smtp daemon. SMTP is a send mail server, basically. So then -n -c, we don't care what these are. Debugging server, we're running a debugging server, and we're going to run this on localhost 1025 because, that's what we designated here. So, okay, come back here and hit enter. And when we do, the cursor just drops down and nothing appears to really happen, right? Because the server is listening now. So now if we send mail from our program, this should pick it up and do something with it. So, okay, we're almost there. Let's head back to our views.py file. So now, if somebody fills out the form, we can grab the data right here. We can then send an email right here. And then what do we want to do? Well, let's send a little message back to the website and have it refresh at the top of the screen there that says, hey, thanks, Bob, or whatever. We got your email. We'll do something with it shortly. Well, we've already passed the person's name using a context variable that we can mess with on the contact.html page. So let's do that real quick. So head over to our contact.html page, and I'm just going to head up to the top here. And actually, let's look at the website real quick. So right up here above, probably right below this breadcrumb, we want to put a little message right here when somebody's filled out the form. So let's look for that breadcrumbs. Start at the top. And actually, I'm just going to do this, search for bread. And there it is. Here's our breadcrumb start. Here's our breadcrumb end. So probably right here, we can add a little thing. So I'm just going to center this. Let's make this an an H2 tag, right? And let's put this on a separate line. And let's go thanks. And then let's paste in that person's name. And then on another line, let's go, received your email and will respond shortly, ... Whatever, right? Yeah, that should work. Now I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna put a couple of line breaks beneath this just to put some space in there. Okay, so save this. And now, moment of truth, let's go back to the site and see if this worked. So my name is, let's say, Bob. My email address is bob@bob.com. I would like to make an appointment on Tuesday, January 14th. I don't know. So let's send a message. And boom, thanks, Bob. We received your email and we'll respond shortly. Now, if you wanted to, you could get rid of this map completely, right? We could go something like here's the map stuff right here. We could do an if statement, right? We could go if message name. So if there is a message name, that means somebody filled out the form, right? So if that, then let's just say do something else. We could put this. And here's the end of that section. So at the end of that, we would just go end if, right? So with this code, if somebody fills out the form, we would say maybe move all of this stuff inside of here, right? Let's tab all this stuff over, right? So if there is a message, or if there's a message name, that means somebody filled out the form. If that's the case, put this little thing onto the screen. Else, if there isn't a message name, then, put this thing, right? So that would work too. So we'll go ahead and save that. But either way, whatever you want to do, it's totally up to you. So, all right, so this seems to be working, but did the email actually send? Well, we can look in our little server here and it looks like nothing has happened. And this thing, I got to tell you, takes a long time. Sometimes it kind of works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it takes like 5 minutes and then it pops up and it shows that the email was sent. Sometimes you have to break out of it. So if I hit Control-C to break out of this, it's not even breaking out. It's like zoned out on me here, right? So it's a little wonky. So we just have to kind of wait to see if this worked. You can also check your email from time to time to see if the email went through. I can check off screen here. Oh, now it closed on me. I have not gotten the email. Check my spam folder. Nope, it's not in there either. So I'm going to run this again. And let's go back to our page here and try this again. Now we're going to be Jim. And I'm going to go use an actual email address. Test, right? So now let's send this message. And you'll notice all that stuff is gone because we got rid of it with our if-else statement, remember? So now we just have this thing. So that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. It makes more sense. It's easier for a person using the website to, read this message. It's more prominently displayed when we do it like this. So that's cool. Now, if we come back here, we can see still nothing going on here. So I'm just going to leave this running for a while, and we'll check back with it in a bit. In the meantime, I want to now talk about the other way to do this, the more professional way, the real way, and that's to use not this local host, but an actual email provider. So this is going to depend completely on what you're using for email, or more specifically, what the dentist is using for his email or her email, right? So I'm going to assume you're using Gmail, because everybody uses Gmail, but every email provider is going to be different here. So you're just going to have to Google something like, if they, for instance, if they use Hotmail, you're just going to have to Google like Django sending email with Hotmail or something, right? To find out how to do it. But it's going to be mostly the same as this. It's just going to be slightly different. So what I'm talking about is, first, we got to change this email host from localhost to whatever SMTP server, SMTP server. Yeah, SMTP. I can never remember exactly how those letters go. Whatever SMTP server your email provider is using. So let's pretend we're using Google. It's going to be smtp.gmail.com. I've also seen sometimes smtp.google.com, but we're going to stick with Gmail. That'll probably work. And the port that Gmail uses for email is 587. So change that. Now your email host user, that's going to be your email address or the dentist's email address. So in my case, it would be johne4196@gmail.com. The password is your password for Gmail, how you log into Gmail. So I'm not going to put that here because I don't want you guys to see my password. Now, if you're going to push this code up to GitHub, and we'll probably talk about that later, you're not going to want to put your email address and your password in this file because it's plain text and anybody can see it if your code is hosted on GitHub. So you're going to want to use an environmental variable. You can Google Django environmental variable and find out how to do it in like 2 minutes. Super simple. I'm not even going to talk about it. But this is where your password goes. And then this email use TLS, or set that equal to true, because I think Gmail does use that. Yeah. And I don't think we need this SSL. If you use SSL, it's a different port. But the TLS at Gmail uses port 587. And that's all there is to it. Now, these are the settings, so we can go ahead and save that. But you're going to have to do a couple of things to your actual email account at Gmail. So by default, Gmail doesn't let third-party things connect and send email. And this is what this is. This is a website. This is a third-party app. It's trying to connect to Gmail to send an email, and it won't let you by default. You have to do a couple of things. You have to set a setting called less secure apps. And it just tells Gmail to be a little less secure and allow other apps to use it. So let's see here. Let me just comment and paste. This is the URL to go. Go to myaccount.google.com/less secure apps. And when you do, it's just a very simple page. We can go look at it right now. It just has a little button you can press right here to toggle on or off. And when you do this, you're probably going to get an email from Google saying, hey, somebody's messing with your account. Is this you? And then you'll have to click on that email and say, yes, this is me. Go ahead and do it. And that will work. The other thing you need to do is display unlock CAPTCHA. So this is accounts.google.com/display unlock CAPTCHA with the D, the U, and the C in uppercase. And I'm not going to go to this because when you go to this, well, I'll show you. It just says allow access to your Google account. As a security precaution, Google may require you to complete this additional step when signing into a new device or application. To allow access, click the continue button. So you go ahead and click continue. It says okay, and you're done. So you'll have to do that in order for this to work. Both of those steps just there. There is another way, an even better way you can do it, and that is by creating a specific app at Google and saying, hey, this is my Django app, give it its own password. And when you do that, you can actually come in here and use that password right here, not your Gmail password. But in order to do this, you have to have two-factor authentication turned on in your Google account. And likely you don't. Most people don't. So to do that, you would turn on two-factor authentication. You can just Google Gmail two-factor authentication, and it'll go to the page where you can set that setting up. And then after that, you go to myaccount.google.com/app passwords. And when you do that, well, it won't let me because I don't have two-factor authentication set up on my account. But if I did, it would go to that page, and then you could set up an app and designate a new password for that app. And then you could use that new password right here, right? So those are the two ways to send email with Django. By the time you watch this video, if you're watching this video a year from now, 2 years from now, or whatever, these things may have changed, right? Gmail may start using a different port or something, or they may require you to do some other thing, to register some other way. So, if you try this and it doesn't work, Google Django send email with Gmail, and you'll get, Stack Overflow articles that are current that tell you the new settings to use. But for right now, that we're beginning of the year 2020, this should work for you. I would hope, as long as you've done those things. And let me paste these other URLs that we looked at here. So this is myaccount.google.com/app passwords. And then the other one was, let's see, accounts.google.com/display unlock captcha. So you'll need at least these two, and maybe if you want to be really secure, this third one in order for this to work. But other than that, just come back here and look at our views.py file. Where'd it go? There it is. This is all it takes to actually send an email from our app, and that's very cool. And let me look back here. And so once again, this hasn't actually gone through. But what happens is eventually, maybe 10 minutes from now, a little box will pop up, or a little thing of text will pop up that shows the email that was sent, and it'll confirm this email was sent or something like that. And so you can see, for debugging, it's kind of okay, but you absolutely would not want to use this debugging server in production. You would definitely want to use the second way we just looked at, using an actual email provider like Gmail or Hotmail or whatever. And so that's cool. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, which is super useful for helping the channel grow. So I'd really appreciate it if you did that. And also check out codemy.com, where you can use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership. So that's access to all my courses, hundreds of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. Join over 80,000 students learning to code just like you. My name is John Elder from codemy.com, and we'll see you in the next video.